Because the truth is, Christians can feel just as unfulfilled as anybody else. A lot of times we talk about Christianity as bringing fulfillment, and that's true, but that doesn't always mean we feel fulfilled, and it doesn't always mean we understand. We can say the sentence that we are fulfilled, but mentally we don't know what that means in our lives or how to process the meaning of that. Hi guys, it's Harma again. I'm here with another video where I talk a little bit about living a creative life. A background to that is my life of faith, my Christian faith, and how that interacts with trying to be an artist and a creative person. So one thing I really wanted to talk about is this feeling of waste that a lot of people are experiencing because of the pandemic. I wanted to bring Christian faith into it a little bit, because the truth is, Christians can feel just as unfulfilled as anybody else. So I think there's 3 ways that Christianity can affect our thinking. Because we're Christian, we believe in eternity. Because we're a Christian, we can go off trust. And because we're a Christian, we have a different spectrum of value. So when it comes to eternity, at the beginning I said, if you live for 100 years, I'm just giving a really long lifespan. 1 year is a big chunk of that. But if you live for eternity, that changes that whole weight of what a year is. So how does eternity change the way we think? Well, it kind of gives a different perspective on every minute. So if you only have so many minutes and then there's nothing, then every single minute is so incredibly valuable, and it's definitely anxiety provoking that these are sliding through your fingers. It's like, if I don't use every single one, it's gone forever, and it's a loss that's incredibly deep. Obviously, it's going to make a big difference in how anxious you are about every moment if there's an infinite number of moments. It's going to change what you do and how paralyzed you feel about what you do. Of course, what you do with your life does matter, but if you have a perspective of eternity, each individual moment is less about making the most of that moment from your own strength. You can have a lot less anxiety and a lot more patience with the whole process, and that leads into the second thing, which is trust. So if you have trust in a God who is good, you can step back and allow the process to take as much time as it needs to, because somebody who has much more wisdom than I've got is the one who's making things happen. So it's less about, oh, I'm wasting it. It's me. It's all on me. And this is infinitely precious time that I'm just losing, and I can't do anything about it, and I should be totally upset about this every single moment. You can let go of all of that. And then rest in the fact that it's not me who has to make things succeed. It's not me who has to make myself this big success. It's not me who bears the full responsibility for every single one of the relationships I have and all the energy that I pour into it. It's not me who's 100% responsible for how high I go in my career and how much creative output I have. I am responsible for it, but not to the point where if there are limitations or restrictions or barriers I come up against in my life, I have to beat these limitations and fight them and be incredibly devastated by the fact that I can't do what I want. It's not all on me, because someone else is going to make my life matter. God is going to make my life matter. And lastly, this different hierarchy of value. Sometimes if we really sit back and examine what our culture or our worldview is telling us, we find that we sort of assume people who've achieved things have a lot of value, and people who haven't achieved much are less valuable. Not true, but sometimes that's our assumptions. So then we really get scared of wasted time. So it's not so much a quiet, ordinary life is less valuable than an exciting, successful life. From the point of view of someone who has Christian faith, all kinds of lives are valuable. It's not you have to be a CEO of a billion-dollar company. There's a lot of direction in the Bible about living quiet, ordinary lives. There's a lot of comfort for those who are maybe sick or very limited in what they can do. Their life has just as much value and matters just as much to the world as, yes, these billionaires or these powerful politicians or these amazing actresses and singers. So in our modern culture, there's a lot of emphasis on success and self-actualization. You really have a worthwhile and fulfilling life if you are becoming yourself. You have a worthwhile and fulfilling life if you're really building your own identity and becoming more and more of your own individual. Sometimes people don't actually achieve that in their life, but that doesn't at all affect their value. So I guess I just suggest, if you're really thinking about fulfillment in your own life, if you remember that you have an eternal perspective, it's not only about losing time that you'll never get back. If you really have a trust that things do work together under the control of somebody who loves you, and if you remember that all kinds of lives have value, maybe that will help affect the way you think about what you're doing. So thank you so much for listening to me talk again. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you got something out of it, you should